Muy buenas tardes, bienvenidos a nuestro programa Palestinos por el Mundo, en una nueva edición, en un documental que empezamos con él la semana pasada y vamos a seguir este y la otra, Dios quiere. Gracias a WOW TV por darnos esta oportunidad de estar con el otro lado del mundo, con personas de muy alto nivel cultural y intelectuales. Gracias al apoyo siempre de la Asociación Salvadoreña Palestina. Como lo dije, estamos complementando un documental y hoy de nuevo estamos con el doctor Khalil Shokeh y el fotógrafo profesional que documentó Belén desde 1856 hasta el 2002, el maestro Sami Bishara. Bienvenidos. أهلا وسهلا دكتور خليل، بنرحب في وجودك. وكمان سيد سامي، تحياتي واهلا وسهلا في برنامجكم فلسطينيون حول العالم.
اهلا وسهلا فيك سمعان.
يا هلا بيك، اهلين. سيد خليل, I would like to speak always about the same city, our golden city, our Bethlehem, where Jesus born. It's a very holy city for everybody in this world, and for us as ones that born there, we are very interesting to know a little bit more about this city. And we've been talking about the Ottoman Empire, Turkish times, but right now we are going to other step. I would like to start with you, Dr. Khalil, talking about the history of our city.
Good evening or good morning, everybody. It's an honor for me again to continue our documentary about the history of Bethlehem at the end of the World War I and occupation by the British in 1917 of Palestine totally and Bethlehem specifically. As everybody knows, the people of Bethlehem during the war, First World War, suffered a lot. Suffered because the stations of the Ottoman army was to the southern part of Palestine, which is close to Hebron and Bethlehem. And Bethlehem suffered heavily because the Ottoman army imposed curfews and also imprisoned men who can carry arms somehow. In the same time, the people starved because of the lack of food and nutrition, and in some cases, even the famous agriculture plant of Bethlehem, which was the olive tree. When I talk about Bethlehem, please everybody remember that I'm talking about the Bethlehem area. That includes Beit Jala and Beit Sahur and the surrounding villages. So people of Bethlehem suffered. When the British army occupied Bethlehem, it took the people of Bethlehem to get out of their houses almost 2 days until they realized that there was no Ottoman and that the British army is in. And when the people went out, mostly were skinny due to lack of food. Some of them sick, and when I mean sick because a lot of illness and sickness took place due to several diseases that was spread because of the war and because of the lack of water and what have you. So it took Bethlehem a while, people of Bethlehem, to get out. As I said, some of them has to be medically supervised immediately. And one of the best things that they have done, one of the things that the Ottomans, the British, I mean, has done, is that they started to purify the wells of Bethlehem. As everybody knows, Bethlehem depended on water through the wells, which they gathered through the rainy period for their daily use. And so the British started purifying the wells of the Bethlehemite by, by putting gas, as we remember from our grandfather, drops of gas, so that mosquitoes and what kind of things that spread illness. They started doing that. People started moving a little bit outside, a little bit, but they were not allowed to move outside Bethlehem. The British supplied all the necessary food and whatever needed for the town in itself. People started contacting their relatives outside, and the army, the British army, at that time decided to appoint a very famous man from Bethlehem who was in Bolivia and in the Southern America. His name, the late Saleh Jiris Jakaman. They appointed him the first mayor to follow up the needs of the town and to clean it and these kind of things. So Saleh Jiris Jakaman is considered the first mayor of Bethlehem, appointed mayor of Bethlehem during the British military occupation. Now, during these 3 years, after 3 years, as everybody knows, United Nations decided to impose the British mandate on Palestine. And after that, we have what is called in civil administration. And everybody knows what the British aim was at that time. Their aim was to control the land and prepare it for the immigration and what have you of the Israelis. If you look at the pictures, the first pictures, I hope the producer will show it to us now. The pictures. I don't see the picture.
Yeah, you know,
The photos, Sam'an, it's not clear.
yeah,
It's not.
yeah. Even thank you, Dr. Khalil. Even we've been just let me to say something, please. You know, as we been even under the Turkish occupation, English occupation, and they tried always to say Bethlehem and all the state of Palestine was empty. There's no people. Thanks for
Yes.
Sami, for everybody that took a picture to show people that we've been there from the beginning of history, not just 2 or 3 hundred years ago. Thank you, Dr. Khalil. Again, can you tell us what about this picture?
This picture is taken from the southern part of Bethlehem, southern part, behind the church, what we call in this area Wadi Mali, and the other side of Wadi Mali. You could see the town, old town, is up on the hill. That's where we go to if you remember Sam'an, the area where there was the land, and we go from there to Hindaze and to the rest of the area. This is taken from the southern part. The nice part of it is you can see the Bethlehem traditional dress, which is the lady is showing الشطوة and والعباية and everything. This is the traditional Bethlehem photos. You could see the land, agricultural land, as everybody knows. Bethlehem was always surrounded by the valleys, which was full of agriculture and trees, mainly the olive trees and fig trees and pomegranate trees at that time. Next photo, if you can follow up with me, Saman.
Yeah. So
That's it. Again, yeah, let me tell about this. This is the area where it's called Al Ain in Arabic. This is where water used to come from Solomon's pool, the only avenue, the only place where water was directed to Bethlehem and from Bethlehem to Jerusalem. This is the place in the old times. You can see in the picture ladies and men carrying the كرب المية سمعان كرب المية water carriers on their head and distributing to the families. That was the case in the 20s and 30s, Saman. This is how people used to survive on water. Besides the wells, they used to buy water or come into this place to pick up water. That was the case during the Ottoman and at the beginning of the British Mandate. This is called Al Ain area, still in existence in Bethlehem.
Quiere decir es el nacimiento de agua. You know, Khalil, everybody in Bethlehem on the 1960s, 70s, I think 60. We've been small ones, but we carried from El Ain, from El Nacimiento de Agua, maybe for half a kilometer or more to our homes. I still remember this.
Remember it. It was two ways. Either there are some people specialized in carrying water on your behalf, or there are donkeys who goes around the area and crying or shouting, there is water for anybody who want to buy it. That was the case up till the 50s and 60s. One of the major problems of the Bethlehem area is the lack of water, Sam'an. We don't have, up till today, neither Yanabi' Maye, water fountains, nor any rivers around. We always depend on the winter season because that's when water and our wells are full of water because of the rainy season.
And what about the pools of Solomon?
It's no more, the pipes that used to carry water is no more useful because Jerusalem has its own fountains of water now, but the pools are only during winter time. It's kind of a picnic place where you go and just see it. Water cannot be carried from there. It's don't forget, it is in area C of Bethlehem. Next photos, please.
Can you hear me, please?
Saman. Yeah, Saman. احكي سمعان.
I am not in. I don't.
Yeah, you are in right now.
Okay. About the first picture Mr. Khalil talked about, it wasn't at the time of mandate. It was much older. Now we enter in this picture the mandate period.
Okay, this is the photos. This photos is near Al-Manara. That was before the church, Assyrian church, was built. As you can see, the stones are thrown over because they were preparing for the Assyrian church to be built on your right side. The stairs nowadays lead to the market that was established later on during the British Mandate, during the tenure of Mr. Nicola Shaheen, who was the mayor of Bethlehem, the first elected mayor of Bethlehem, who built, as you can see where I'm pointing, who built and established the market, the main market of Bethlehem in this area. This leads to the old town, of course, and this area leads to Najajri quarter.
And this picture, it wasn't just looking like you see now. I made lots of changes in it. I made it clear, then I give it more colors in order not, I don't change anything in the picture. I just want to see people what they wear, what colors, what shoes, what dress. That's why I make it colorful.
Yeah, because of this, you let me live the moment as if it's yesterday. I remember the library of Khalil. I remember the pharmacy of Jakaman,
Yes,
Isa's, Marzuka's home. Yeah,
Wow.
yes. Yeah, you are
Wow.
right. You are right.
yeah,
You are right. This is if you follow the arrow, this is where Isa Marzuka was living, Samaan. This is the
yeah.
place. Now it
I,
belongs to the Saka family. Now it belongs to the Saka. There was a tailor at this side, if you remember, a tailor. And here,
yeah,
where I'm pointing, is Darb Tawil, Bahnan Tawil, Syrian family, if you
Yes,
yeah.
remember.
at the top right side.
Yeah, at the top right side. Yes.
Yes.
Next picture,
And
Samaan.
Okay.
next. Oh yeah, this is the Manara.
Hi El Manara. This is the same photo, but taken from the other side. That was from the northern side. Now we are in the middle of the town. This is called Al Manara. And you could see how lovely it is. It's an old, very old picture. Sami can talk about the date. And you could see the same things are still in existence. This shop,
Yeah,
the fresh shop, later on, now it is an oven. This is
Uh,
the butchery places, Al Masriya and Al Husani on this area. This is where the Kamandari quarter, we call it, Kamandari quarter.
yes.
No,
This,
Dakkarat quarter, sorry. Dakkarat and
yeah.
not Kamandari.
This,
And on
this
your left
picture,
side, you could see the beginning of the building of the Assyrian church, the left side. This is
that's
the
what
yeah.
I
central old
On
town.
the left side.
Yeah, on the left.
remember. This piece of the Manara itself, I have no words to say what's the Manara in English, but the piece of stone in the middle, now it was removed, and that was a loss. People really miss it. Now they change it to a new decoration, but this piece, I don't know where it's done. It disappeared. Where is it? I don't know. I'll ask Dr. Khalil.
Sami, it's already located in front of the Church of the Nativity, in front of the tiles of the Church of the Nativity.
Is
Yani
it?
at your left side, it is there, put
Yes.
there. It is
Uh-huh.
located now there, but nobody is taking care of it. It was called Manara because they have a long lamp. At that time, there was no electricity. Up till the 30s, Sam'an, we didn't have
Yeah,
electricity in Bethlehem. So they used to have the gasoline or the lux, if you remember. And there were special people from the municipality who used to light it every night. Watchers, guides, and the guards, I'm saying, used to have it. So this is why it's called Manara, because the light was flourishing all over, spreading all over.
And to realize something, realize that the church, the Syrian Orthodox Church, was not complete. It is
Yes,
almost at the middle of building it because the what we call the Jarasiya or uh,
the
yeah,
bell tower, the bell tower.
yeah, that was built later at the 50s, at the end of the 50s. So now the church was not complete either in this picture.
Okay,
I,
yes, understand.
Yes.
on the
Just to add to what Sami said, the church was completed in 1946. They started it in
yeah,
1926, and they completed it after they got donation and they were raising money and funds so that to be able to build it. It was completed with the bell tower in
Yes.
1946.
About
Next
20
picture,
years.
please. Yes, oh yes, because they have to raise money. Now, this is a general view. This is a general view of Bethlehem. You could see the old town, the main street, شارع الرئيسي, المهد, شارع المهد. In front of you, it's the Saraya after it was, before it was demolished. That was the Saraya, the government building. And at the same time, it was the headquarters of the municipality of Bethlehem. At your left side, you see Dar Nasser family house, still in existence. This is St. Joseph School for Girls, which was built in 1860, something like that. And this is the Salesian convent with the Salesian church. That's it. Then you find houses.
Yes, you forgot only one thing, Dr. Khalil.
Faddal.
The Orthodox school at the right
Down.
side.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, now,
I saw it.
yeah, that was the Orthodox school. It was demolished as a later stage because this is where the place where become the center for touristic and so on. Yani the parking area that was built by
Station.
Padico station and a mall, a shop mall up in the first stage and so on. This is where all transportation is taking place to the north and southern part of Bethlehem. This is a
Yeah.
lovely view of Bethlehem. That was taken in the, I believe, in the 30s, something like that. Okay.
Yeah, that's in the 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Next,
nice.
Saman.
Can I okay, yeah, you have changed, all right.
Wow, this is very ancient.
Yes, this is the British Army. Their headquarters were in the Nativity, on the Nativity actually court. You could see their cars. It was mostly for visitors and what have you. But you will see later on another picture that shows the military vehicles and the what we call the ستاير ترابية, soil fences at a later stage during the revolution and the general strike of the Palestinian in general. And in front, you could see even the court was not, there was no tiles, only small stones gathered together, collected together with some cement, just so that people can walk in it. Also, you could see the cars, the kind of cars that was at that area.
So,
Sami? سامي أي
Sami?
تعليق؟
Please, no, I have nothing to say because he already said everything about this picture.
So this picture, 1936 to 1939 maybe.
لا before.
During
لا
the
سمعان.
revolution.
It was before.
Before.
The
Okay.
picture is before that. I will show you later on. There is another picture that shows the military presence during the revolution.
Even you see the British mandate never respected the Church of Nativity, and they are Christians. They can't use it in this way as a quartel. You see.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah,
haven't
Sam,
you haven't seen anything, Mr. Saman. I saw some pictures. They are putting a very large table, and all the officers are sitting and drinking and making fun and music. It was free to do for them whatever they want.
Yeah.
Sam'an, I have to add something. Everybody knows that the British main political aim was assisting the Jews and the migration and the establishment of their. Everybody knows that. To us, they only gave us lip services. Lip services. You know what lip services? As if they're trying to be nice. But in reality, in reality, in reality, they never they consider us only
They want,
as if we
they
are
want,
resident in this country. That the
they
land is
want,
not for us. It's
they
clear
were
Yeah,
from
acting,
Balfour Declaration dictation. It's clear cut, Sam'an.
they were
yeah,
acting loud. So they met some students from Terra Santa. I saw some pictures, and they want to they talk to the boys to make them happy and so on, as if they love them and they want a good life for them. So they, as you said, it's all just they were acting that they loved it.
yeah. There's no occupation, good one or bad one. Every occupation is a bad one, and each one coming as we are living the Israeli occupation. They are real criminals, real destructions in everywhere, killing our people. The same as the British mandate, and we still living the same life, the same occupation, just changing a name. And right now, it's how do you say it? The worst one of history, the only one in the modern world that we are living as Palestinians.
Saman,
To
let me
say
help
that
you in that. Yani, up till now, the British never apologized for what they have done to us. Our crisis and our catastrophe is because of them. They are the
yes,
one who not only denied our rights, they are the one who forced the establishment of the Israel in the other side. Up till today, they never apologized for what they
Yeah,
have done to us. Up till today. And what we are suffering is now is because of their policy and what they are doing even up to now. Now,
you
the one thing I
remember
want to
that.
mention in this period also, look, they started with the citizenship passports. So they asked all the Palestinians to have their passports. When it came to those who are outside Palestine, who used to go and come, Bethlehemites and Bejala people, they used to travel to their workplace in Southern America or Latin America and come back. When they issued the what is called in history the citizenship right identity, they refused to allow those who were outside to give them passports and identity by the pretext on the pretext saying that you are Turks, you are no more Palestinian from Bethlehem. You lived outside, so you stay outside. Out of
Dr. Khalil, yeah,
44,000 Palestinians from the Bethlehem area who were living outside in Latin America, they only permitted 4,000 out of 44,000. That was in between 1925 to 28. And because
that's
of
good.
that, Bethlehemite people formed the committees, made lobbying through the United Nations and through Hajj Amin Mufti al-Husseini and all the institutions of Palestine. They started shouting loudly, what are you doing? You are discriminating against our people while allowing the Jews to come to the land. That
Just
was
to
one of
remind
their
you,
heavy mistake that cut off
to,
our people from the people outside. This is
to
a point
remind
just to
you,
remember for all the people. Go ahead,
just to
Sami.
remind you, Dr. Khalil, you haven't said something about the Balfour promise. That was our our problem. The Balfour, you haven't talked about that promise they gave. Promise to give
I,
the Jews
the
let me
establishment.
see.
Yes, I said, I Sam'an, Sami, I mentioned
Yes,
about Balfour Declaration. It was the
yeah,
degree by which they have permitted the establishment and the rights of the Jews to come to the land while negating the original people. They considered, I said it, they considered us resident and not nationalistic of the town. So, Sami, I
Yeah.
mentioned it.
You know,
And when I
uh,
received the
sorry.
passport,
ju-
yes, Sami.
I was out of the program when you talked about it. I hadn't.
just
I
Okay,
had.
just
Khalil,
2 points.
Khalil.
Just 2 points. You know, every decision from Belfort till they left and give Palestine as a gift for the Israeli government,
Yes,
every
yes,
decision that they took, it's not legal. Because of this, we can uh, attack them in a legal way,
yeah,
because
yeah. You
Israel
are right.
was built illegally in Palestine, just with decisions of the British mandate and the UNA in that time. The other thing, they cheat. They cheat the Palestinians. They gave them the passport, then they treated them as visitors. So they need a visa, they need everything. You see,
Yeah.
letting Jews in the same time to enter Palestine as citizens once.
Yes,
To
you are
say
right, Sami.
something at
Sam'an,
the end,
Sam'an,
they were
it's a
more.
political conspiracy against the Palestinian people. As I said, they are responsible for what we are suffering up till now. They are with the other side from the beginning. All the regulations and laws that was issued, it was for the benefit of the Jewish and not for the benefit of the Palestinian. This is
So
what is
it
called
was the
the
old word.
masalih interest. Their interest
So,
is lying with the Jews, and that's it. Up till now, they
so
never apologize for what they have done.
Yeah,
And you know
yeah.
better than me how their prime minister has said several times.
let
You
me
know,
Let's
tell
stick
I
you
to the
know
other
about
pictures.
Mr. El
Mr.
Masri in London. He has a court something against Israel and British government, the new one, because they
Yeah,
must apologize. Anyway,
yeah.
thank you so much. We must have a pausa. Vamos a descansar un ratito
A
y
break.
ya regresamos.
Okay.
Bienvenidos de nuevo. La verdad, algo muy interesante. Acaba de hablar el doctor Khalil sobre el que hizo Inglaterra para dar el pasaporte inglés a todos los palestinos para facilitar su salida, y cuando querían regresar lo consideró como ingleses, no como palestinos que dejaron su tierra y tenían que pedir permiso, pedir visa para entrar a su propia tierra. Así Inglaterra es el mismo criminal de ayer como Israel, el mismo criminal de hoy contra los palestinos. A mí, por ejemplo, me sacaron de allá, salí para regresarme y no quisieron renovar mis papeles. Así lo repito y lo dije 1000 veces. Gracias al Salvador que me dio a mí una identidad. Si no, yo estoy sin papeles, sin nacionalidad aún. Soy nacido en la Tierra Santa, en Palestina, en la ciudad de Belén, donde nació Cristo, y jamás ellos pueden quitarnos este derecho. Hoy y siempre vamos a reclamar esta tierra porque es nuestra y no hay una ocupación que va a durar 1000 años. Israel saldrá de esta tierra con la resistencia, con la decisión palestino de seguir y volver a su tierra. Tal vez me pone otra foto, por favor. No, este ya lo vimos. Este.
Now here we go.
This Sam'an, this is one of the oldest one. This is the Australian light horse, they call it. It's a regiment from the Australian who were with the British, of course. They were coming from Jerusalem through Bethlehem so that later on they can go to Jericho. It's the Australian regiment of light horse. They were entering from, Shari Al-Amal, where it's going to the Catholic Action, going through Star Street, Ras Ftes, to the Nativity. So this is a very old picture. It's in 1917, something like that, 1917, 1918, between that period. You could see houses and you could see the land, how Bethlehem, the surrounding of Bethlehem, Old Town, how it was. You could see it this way.
But
Sami,
Khalil, this...
all these houses are still exist in the same road.
This is...
Arnex home at the right, Saka home at the back, Hanbal, Sahuri Hanbal at the left back. They still exist until now.
The new ones is the building of...
it's full of houses. Sam'an, yes, downstairs. لتحت سمعان, it goes downstairs. There it is where Hanna Mitri, and it was bought by Lama at a later stage, and this area, and the shops in this area.
This is Isa Saka, I think, home.
At the back.
At the back. Hadi Dar Twemi, like Sami has said, Dar Twemi. Before it, it's the Catholic Action roundabout, where we go. Next picture, Sam'an, so that we can show the people. This is a new, actually, Sami has made it beautiful as usual because he is beautiful. So he colored it to show us the near Bethlehem University or the Frere School, which is on the top in the back. Here on your side, on your right side, is the French hospital. This is it, Sam'an, the French hospital. You see where I'm pointing? This is Jaar, Dar Hanna Khalil Jaar. He was in Salvador, remind you. This is his palace, we call it the Palace of Al-Jaar. We have two Jaars, of course. There's Jaar from Salvador and Jaar who lived in Chile and Honduras and what have you. So this is the Palace of Jaar. Behind it is the road where it goes to Al-Medbase. If you go follow up, you go to the Medbase. And you can see the houses. Some of are still in existence. The road that leads to Al-Medbase is from here, one, and the other one goes from here to Saleh Jakaman's palace and the Ittihad Nisai Family Union on this side. This photo was taken, I believe, from the Frere School or Bethlehem University nowadays. The picture of it. You could see.
That's not the English mandate. This was taken truly 1955. This 1950. So this is in the
Jordanian period. But we're talking historically, Sami. Historically, Hanna Jaar built it in the 20s, 26. As a matter of fact, 1926, Hanna Jaar built his house. Between 1926 to the 30s.
I'm just saying,
and the French hospital was built during the Ottoman. French hospital in 1898. The French hospital was built. That was when the Ottoman opened to the west. Next, Saman.
Wait, please. I aim to say we are talking about the mandate period, so this doesn't belong to the mandate. Next section, we will talk about Jordan. Anyway, let's continue.
Again with the nativity.
Yes, this is Sam'an, the court of the nativity, the wall that was built to surround the cemetery of the Greek Orthodox cemetery. This is an old one. This is between 1900 to 1009, something like that, because in 1911 the Ottoman issued a decree whereby no cemeteries to stay inside the town. All cemeteries has to be moved outside the town. So this is where after that it was removed from this area, and now it is behind the Church of the Nativity. The same for the Catholic and Latins. The same for the Roman Catholics. Lutherans were in Al Madbasa area. They moved it to outside the main street through Bejala Street. But the view here is lovely because you can see the column. The column here was a kind of the lighting like Al Manara. They used to have a lux things or a kind of gasoline
Oil
lighting,
lamps, like oil lamps and so on. Or
all lights
gas
and so
lamps,
on.
gas lamps.
Yes,
I want
yes,
to just to say something about that stone where people sit. There is
yeah,
like a column. This column, this short column, still exists until now at the same place
yes,
until now.
yes, yes.
So here being built a hotel, palace hotel, huh?
Later on, it was built the status quo rules and regulation between the three denomination, Catholics and Orthodox and Armenian. There are some spaces that you shouldn't have any buildings that will be higher than the nativity in front of it. So some of it belong to the Franciscan order and some to the Greek Orthodox order. This is where also the location of the Society of the Greek Orthodox, which was established in the 20s during the British Mandate period. All right.
Uh,
Yeah.
if you want,
Next.
if you don't have next, well, let me send this picture for Siman.
Uh-huh.
This picture I'm going to send you now. This is very important. Talking about when Dr. Khalil, he will he will explain about it when he looks at this picture. Take this picture, please, and Jasser Palace. Let Dr. Khalil talk about this, please.
Yeah. Okay. Khalil, I would like you to tell us a little bit about the English passport. It's very, very interested. Nobody knows about this trick that they made with
Yes.
us.
Okay. The law was issued in 1920 by the British Mandate, whereby it states that all Palestinians and inhabitants of Palestine have the right to obtain a passport, a British passport. All people applied, of course. When those, but in the same time, look to this point, سمعان انتبه لهذه النقطة. In the same
Uh-huh.
time, they didn't distribute this information and the law. They didn't distribute it to all their consulate and embassies all over the world. They didn't. When people of Bethlehem and Beit Jala starting telling their relatives that there is a passport and you should apply for it, they went to the consulates and the embassies and they said, we have no instructions about that. Look what they were doing on purpose. They didn't want those who are in the diaspora to know that they can apply to get their right for citizenship. And after they announce it, they started what is called in history, oh, you when you left Palestine, you were a Turk. You are not
Yeah.
British or Kaza. And because of that, a lot of committees were formed and lobbying with all over the world. As I said, because of the pressure on them, they only gave 4,000, only 4,000 out of 44,000 people who were outside Palestine at that time. In Latin America, in the United States, in name it, all over the world. And we have a statistic about it.
And then they refuse to consider whom has the English passport as a British one.
Yes, they only treated him as a second class,
Uh-huh.
as a
No,
second
and
class, a visitor.
refused to give him the passport, I think on 1956.
Only Sam'an. They gave passport for those who work with them, whether in the mandate administration or in the police or something like that. These people were given the British mandate, but not all people applied for it because people were suffering already. Sam'an. Only who can have money and have a business and so on got it from the locals. I'm talking. While the outsiders, they didn't get it, as I said it. It took them time to get it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Anyway,
send you to Mr. Farhan, very important picture. Please, can you show it to us?
this is a new one. Dar Jasser Palace, Qasr Dar Jasser.
Palace.
You know, Khalil, they are living here, part of the family of Jasir,
Yes.
Jasir, Jasser. In a different way, they pronounce their name. Part of them are here in El Salvador.
Yes. And part are in Dominican, and part are in Chile, and part all over. And part are
Yeah.
in Europe still, Sam'an, Jasser family. They spread around, yani we know the issue of them. We have also in the United States, Dr. Nabil, his brother, the oldest one, Sliman himself, the Hafid Sliman, who is now his daughters, two daughters, are using the other building, the left side, as a how you say, artistic place and the museum for artists to use it, and
Oh,
they organize some workshops in the other
yeah.
house.
One
Anna
of them,
Maria and her sister.
yeah,
No, the
one of them
two girls.
is a director.
Movie, cinema. Yes,
Movie director, yeah.
yes. It's Anna Maria and her sister. Yes, you are right.
Yeah, and here we in the past governments we have a minister here in El Salvador from Jasser family.
Family Jasser. I see. Great.
Yeah.
I sent another 5 pictures. Can you show it to us, please, Mr. Saman? I have very
سمعان
important
فرجيه
pictures
بقية الصور
about.
سمعان
I
فرجيه
sent
الصور.
him now. I
Okay.
sent him now. Milky Grotto and the old city of Bethlehem and Bejala and the
Okay.
vehicles. Please.
Can we change the picture? Podemos cambiar la foto, por favor.
And you see the one which is at the center of Bethlehem. This is a very rare picture. And one on the Manara also. I send you like 5 to 6 ones. Please take. Can you show them to us?
Okay.
This one, look how old is this one. But still, this is the mandate time. But realize still the shops have the writing still in Ottoman writing at the top of these shops. That's the time they left, after they left. This is, as you see, up each shop. There is شو أرما أستاذ خليل؟ the
reference
name
هذا
of
ارما. Yeah.
Yeah, they still written in, as you realize, in Turkish.
بلاكا سمعان بلاكا. بلاكا.
Next, if you can send, please, next.
هون عماله بيحكي لي he's telling us that we are
This one.
having not too much time, but this picture is very interesting too.
Yeah,
Yes,
Dr.
yes.
Khalil, this is,
Ah,
I think that was when King George came to visit to Bethlehem.
visited the town. It's
Yeah.
not King George, it's Prince Edward, Philip Edward.
Edward,
When he
I know,
visits
I
Bethlehem,
forgot the name. Yeah,
ah,
so the
uh,
whole,
you, you could see the audience and the people around showing it's like Christmas time. People all over on the roof of the houses and around the main street, and the British Army on their horses and what have you, welcoming the prince or the king, I don't know at that time. And the picture is taken, I think, Sami, it's in the 20s, upper 20s,
no, this is 30 to 35.
30 to 35.
Between-
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
between 30
It's
to
it's
35.
Now, the point that Sami wanted us to press on it is that Sam'an, these houses are no more. They were demolished during the Jordanian. We'll talk about it later. During the
Yeah,
Jordanian period, these houses were demolished so that to have the nativity court open and larger.
And I
Okay?
yeah,
have the whole collection, which nobody else have it. Nobody can find it even. Nobody can see it except me. I have all these homes, door by door, place by place, shop by shop. I will send you a whole file of these houses which they were demolished at the Jordan
Okay.
period, of course.
Next
yeah.
سمعان الصورة اللي بعدها سمعان.
Okay.
This is
This,
the Milky Grotto and the car of the English soldiers, the British soldiers. That's the Milky Grotto. Go ahead, Dr. Khalil.
Okay. هذه is taken behind from شارع السيدة, we call it شارع مغارة الحليب, the Milk Grotto Street. It's taken from the backside of the Nativity, but showing the bells, tower bells of the Church of the Nativity, as clear as it is. And this picture is, I believe, around 30s or also, Saman.
yeah.
This was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mghart al-Khalib, how you call it in English?
Milk Grotto. Milk
Yeah,
Grotto. Milk
yeah.
Grotto. This is the street to the Milk Grotto.
But to let everybody knows that it's behind the Church of Nativity.
Yes, yes, behind the
Yeah.
Church of the Nativity. Next
Anyway,
one, if you have time. Ah,
thank you so much. The time has gone very quickly. I hope that next week we will finish our program talking about the same city, about Bethlehem, but in other station, other
period.
time,
The
other
time of
period.
Jordan time. Jordan time.
Sam'an, if I may say one sentence only. I know
Okay.
that your audience would like to see more, but always time is limiting us. The time is limiting us. We have Sami has thousands of photos. If we want to talk about each one, give it 1 minute. I think we need days and nights and weeks and months to finish it.
Yeah.
But at least if the audience would like to know more, we are ready to answer them. They can call us, they can send us messages, and so on. We are, thank you again for giving us the opportunity to export our knowledge to the people in the diaspora. Thank you again.
And show our town Bethlehem to all over the world.
Thank you so much. As you said, we have a lot to talk about, to speak
So,
about Bethlehem. I hope that we will have more time next time and some pictures. We will talk about Jordan period, Israel
period.
period, and right now the Palestinian one, I think.
Yes, I hope so.
Iraq,
I hope so. We hope so. inshallah.
Thank you so much. See you next week. Gracias a WOW TV por la oportunidad de hablarnos sobre Belén y estas fotos preciosas que documentan la historia de Belén, aún en periodo muy pequeño, muy interesante. Y cómo vivió Belén, y hablamos de Belén porque somos de allá, por la importancia de Belén como lugar donde nació Cristo, el palestino por excelencia, por esto, y también para enseñar al mundo que como fue engañado, como fue maltratado Cristo, el palestino en aquel entonces, estamos viviendo las mismas condiciones. Y como lo dije, no hay una ocupación mejor que la otra. Cada una es peor. Los turcos fueron mal. Vino el mandato inglés, vino con toda la maldad del mundo. Ustedes tal vez entendieron, oyeron sobre el truco que hicieron. Dieron a la gente pasaporte inglés para lograr salir, pero cuando querían regresar, lo negaron a ellos y lo trataron como extranjeros para entrar a Palestina. Pero siempre creamos y peleamos, resistimos para nuestro derecho del retorno a nuestra patria, nuestra tierra palestina. Que Dios que lo bendiga y hasta pronto.